thing here.
Okay.
And just to start, we'll say this is for lesson 3, our group discussion on Mary Griffin at Derby Foods. And we've tried to reach out to the others, but we've had a little difficulty. So we'll start with ourselves. Just one thing really quick. So is it just Mershon, or do you go by something else?
No, it's Mershon.
Mershon, okay.
Yeah, thanks.
So what did you think of the overall, just a little quick snippet of this Derby Foods?
Well, Mary has to take action on this guy, Mr. Simon. I don't think she should let that kind of behavior dwell for too long. I kind of can relate to her situation a lot because I'm a manager in my workplace too, and I've certainly had similar situations. But this guy's an experienced guy. He's got some good things he can contribute to the company. It just sounds like he needs a little coaching to overcome his inability to control his emotions.
Yeah, I mean, really, you know, when I just really quick while you say that, when I got done reading it, I started thinking about it. I thought, you know, he's got a lot of passion, and sometimes it's kind of like it's a double-edged sword. Do you want to tail that passion? Do you know? It all depends on how he expresses it. And obviously, he's he's like an A person.
Right.
He's just, for some reason, and those kind of people in general sometimes step on other people's toes, and because like the first guy, you know, says,
who does he think he is to boss around?
Yeah, I highlighted that.
Yeah.
Think he is, and I think sometimes their passion kind of overrules their better judgment.
I would agree with that.
So the only other question is, when he complained about the X not being predominant, I thought, well, who proofed it? You know, did he proof it? Did someone else proof it? It's got to get off before a label's made. I mean, anything in print. So that's where I would have gone to. Okay, who proofed this first? Maybe no one proofed it. I don't know.
Yeah, it was interesting. I don't know. I know you haven't started your case right up yet, but one of the things that I was recommending as part of the situation analysis. Obviously, his attitude and his demeanor had a definite impact on the group that he was managing. Because they didn't share the same level of enthusiasm that over the new idea, even though all of the other managers indicated that they were excited about some of his innovative thoughts about branding and marketing. So I think when your team doesn't get as excited or behind the product as you are, there's a definite problem.
So you would say he wasn't, in their opinion, a team player?
For sure. Well, and I don't think that he's going to inspire anybody to get on board with this with the attitude he portrayed.
Yeah, no, it almost sounds like he's alienated his team.
Sure.
Because they don't want to jump in the same boat with him.
I think they're probably working under fear. I don't know that they would be, at least if I put myself in the shoes of somebody working under the supervision of somebody like Mr. Simon, I would be scared to death. Because it doesn't sound, if he's going to go off on something as simple as a minor typo in a slide presentation, you know, mistakes are going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think that kind of an error calls for such a drastic reaction.
Well, it's funny reading this story when I was done in contemplating it, pondering it. I have my immediate boss has some similar qualities. He's, you know, he'll write. There's 5 of us salespeople for the company, and we handle different areas. And he will, okay, I'm writing with you this week or whatever. And then, of course, everybody else kind of chuckles. Of course, they're glad that he's not with them that week. And he's, what's the word I want? I mean, he's very knowledgeable. Don't get me wrong. He's very knowledgeable, but he likes to take over. We were up in Oakland, and this is kind of this would be kind of similar to what went on here. We were up in Oakland, and we're in the architect's office visiting on a project. And he was using the restroom, and I had all the guys in there, and I just told him, I said, okay, let's start. I'm going to start. I said, but I'm just going to tell you, as soon as my boss comes in, he's taking over. He just will. And sure enough, and so I've gotten used to that. I know what he does. And, you know, from reading the book that we've been reading, the 7 Habits of whatever.
Yeah, effective people.
I've started getting a little more perspective and putting myself in his shoes now.
Right.
And kind of thinking, okay, what would I do in his situation? How would I react to the 5 different personalities that he has with us? And so it's made it a little better. I started doing that before we actually started the class, but as soon as I read this, I thought, that's my boss almost, pretty close.
Yeah. Like I said, I've known people like this Simon guy in my workplace too. I think they're in just about every room.
Well, even when my boss is wrong, he doesn't admit it. He'll just say, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
It's not, "Oh, I'm sorry," or anything. It's just, "Oh, okay," and he moves on. And you're at him like, "Really? You're going to leave it like that?" Okay. So whatever. It is what it is. But he is the boss. So
these are the challenges we get to deal with in the workplace.
But there are, just like there's different cultures in working business, just like in this company, that I think manifest themselves in every business.
Absolutely.
And, we're having a discussion about some issues in ours. We have a sales meeting next week on Tuesday. And, and now that reading the book and taking this class, I've thought, my whole mind has thought differently about this meeting now coming up.
Yeah, I'm sure. Pretty insightful, all the readings that we've had this week. The PowerPoint presentation on the feedback and coaching workshop, I thought that was pretty enlightening.
Okay, yeah, it's, I
don't know if you looked at that yet, but.
Well, I don't know if I want to admit I didn't or not. So.
That's okay, I'm not judging.
No, but I can't, I don't think I did. I mean, that's
all right.
I try to look at everything and then just use what I need to and go on, because I've got classes on Wednesday night, and I have another thing on Thursday night. So my nights are busy, but that's fine. I think I'm going to enjoy the class. I really do. It gives me a little insight from a business standpoint on how to better react and see people.
Right, I agree.
So
for me as well.
Let me see what some of these questions are.
It says, what is the issue with the company?
Yeah.
I think we've already talked about that his behavior just not appropriate for the workplace.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's if you don't do something, you're going to, like I said, demoralize others.
Right.
You'll demoralize others. They'll think they don't count.
Exactly.
Their voice isn't heard. They're not important.
Right.
And so Mary has to get, what's his name, York?
Simon. Yeah, Simon York.
Okay. Get Simon to understand that.
Right.
Without diluting his enthusiasm, but get him to see the other side of the coin, and just include his people.
That's one of the things that that PowerPoint, it talked a lot about how she can approach that. Like, if you have somebody that maybe doesn't understand how they're approaching or what they're putting out there when they communicate with other people,
Yeah.
this PowerPoint gives some pretty good information on that. The other thing was, I don't know if you saw the instructor's recording at the beginning of the week about how to handle angry people. But he gave a lot of good information in that recording as well that I thought was pretty fascinating. Very applicable to this case write-up or the case scenario.
Well, yeah, angry people. I mean, that's my dealing with them is that I just let them vent until they're done venting, and then talk to them. Because while they're venting, they're not going to listen to you.
Right, and that's what the things the instructor pointed out was that there's this, you know, your brain doesn't have blood flow up in the frontal cortex of your brain when you're angry. It helps you lose blood flow. And so you lose all rational thought and thinking.
Well, have you people who get really mad where their lips actually quivering?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Yeah, no, you know, you can't feed the fire. You gotta
let them talk.
You gotta let it burn out. So that's good. I'll have to watch that too.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So the specific behaviors that raise the concern on this, obviously, you can't be calling people out. You can't be publicly reprimanding people in a meeting. That's inappropriate.
Yeah, pull them aside, you know.
That's completely humiliating, demoralizing, shameful.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, maybe what I'm thinking after Mary talks to Simon, they need to meet as a group and kind of include everybody in maybe a toned down version of what she talks to him individually about.
Right.
So that they can all have some feedback, and Simon needs to understand. Yeah, maybe she needs to record him sometime talking to people so that maybe he doesn't have a good idea of perception of what he's doing.
Sure. Like that, yeah. That's exactly what I thought too. I don't think he's aware of his own behavior. He's lacking a lot of self-awareness.
Yeah, because it's just like I'll be talking to my wife or talking on the phone, on my cell phone. My wife will say, shh, you know, just talk to the person, you know, everyone can hear you. I go, and I don't realize it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that happens. Let's see.
The culture, dirty food. Obviously, they want input from everybody on product development.
Well, exactly.
Marketing.
More thoughts are better.
Seems like they have, I mean, the kind of culture they seem to be exhibiting throughout this whole story is they want, well, obviously they've made a partnership with the Winter Exchange, so that would be pretty significant. And I would think that all, I get the sense that they're all working towards being a better, you know, making the product prominent.
Yep. Let's see. What else? Some little notes. I put down one comment, and they go, "It appears York is the only perfect person in the group."
That's true.
Yeah, but it did say that, you know, some of the people there, I think, not his immediate team, enjoy his excitement and stuff, but his immediate team, he's alienating them and not keeping them part of the group and making them feel unneeded. And so he needs to take a look at that.
So let's see. What are the guiding principles? I think I kind of answered some of those.
Yeah.
The beliefs that support the culture. Obviously, they're all trying to make the product significant, I guess. I can't really think of a better word, but they're trying to get the product known, recognizable.
Their branding. So that's
right.
That's got to be interesting, and bringing a product to the market, and getting it to be known as a brand name type thing.
Right.
That's going to take a lot of work. But
well, yeah, it's trying to figure out what's going to be catch the vision of somebody who's browsing. What's going to make them be interested in their item?
and a lot of times in, I don't know, marketing, in sales, it doesn't hurt to throw out rewards. Incentives, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
We have them where I work. Sometimes they seem a little fair because someone gets lucky and gets something big that comes through, and it may be due to work that he's done, or maybe he just stepped into it. I don't know, but
yeah,
and that's fine. The owners or the boss will say, what do you think of that? And I go, you know what? You set the parameters, and we have to work within those. What can I say?
Right.
It's not my company, but I'll try. But it's not. I may not always happen.
Sure.
I'll find other ways to do it. But yeah, well, I think we've kind of thrown it against the wall a few times. If and just in conclusion, it's interesting. I don't know if these are real stories. I doubt it, and there may be some truth to them, but a lot of the stuff, and I think future ones and other classes I've taken, we've done case studies. It's interesting to what HR did.
Yeah.
One class I took, we had to come up with our own conclusion, and then the next week we got what happened.
Yeah, I did that class too.
Okay. And
yeah.
that's interesting. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
So that was.
I always had a different perspective from my group members because I am a manager, and I always related it to how I would handle the situation.
Okay, so you do HR where you work?
Yeah, I manage staff, and I hire people, fire people, talk to them about performances, do their evaluations, that type of thing.
Yeah, my son just got his master's in behavioral sciences.
Oh, wow.
And it's kind of like it to get into an HR.
Yeah.
He was in Utah. The company wanted him to move to corporate, which is just out of Dallas. So that's why he's in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
He still isn't in what he graduated in, and that's what he's trying to do, is moving up. I said, you know what? You've got a lot more options in Dallas than you will Salt Lake.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So anyways, but it's interesting because I have a friend who is, you ever hear of Amgen?
Amgen.
It's a
pharmaceutical
company.
Yeah.
In California. They're just up the hill from us where we live. And a friend of mine is one of the main HR people there. So for that class, I went and interviewed him.
Yeah.
It was interesting, very interesting.
I bet.
So
that's a technical area too.
Yeah, there's a lot more reasons to have an HR person now than there used to.
Right, unfortunately.
Yeah, all the requirements companies are supposed to have and need to abide by.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Well, Mershawn, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I think a couple of these questions within that discussion guide or the agenda, some of these things I think we've touched on a little. The role of Mary in the culture, I think she needs to be kind of giving Simon the feedback. Maybe talking about punishments if he's not going to comply. Of course, there's a whole coaching method to that process, but
yeah, I guess a lot depends if he wants to change or if he's.
That's the whole thing. She's only going to be able to do so much. It's mostly up to Simon.
Oh yeah,
and that's his role. As we talk about her role, his responsibility would be contributing in a positive way. Without distributing or displaying behavior that is inconsistent with the company ethics or whatever.
Yeah, he needs to understand it. And, and it's, as far as reprimands, I mean, I think initially it's just, here's what I see, let's talk, have a nice conversation, and then base any further discussions on his attitude.
Right.
Desire to change or to see what's going on.
Right. I think with the employees, the team members that are under Simon, I think that they are working against the culture because they're just kind of hunkering down and not addressing the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to bring it up. They'd rather just not deal with the problem, which I know I have a lot of that. Sometimes there's some problems that are so too large that I just really don't want to handle them.
Yeah.
But you do have to buckle down and you have to address it when it comes up, whether you want to or not.
You just cut it into smaller pieces.
Right. So I agree with you on, you already touched on how Mary should approach the discussion. I think that, she should ask the questions, like, tell me what's been going on, tell me how have you interpreted events, and then maybe discuss about what I've seen, and this is what is contrary to the culture of our company. Those are something like that.
See, maybe they need to see what, from your standpoint as an HR person, what are the policies of the company? Is there?
Well, I know, like, for example, Idaho, we have a code of ethics, or code of honor, right? And so a lot of companies have a professional code of conduct anymore, because I know in my job, because I work in, we are a political office, I should say.
Okay.
So a lot of our work is reflected on the community, and whatever we do reflects on our elected leader.
Okay.
So we have criminal cases that we prosecute in our community, and if we are being inappropriately on personal time outside of the work hours, it might be noticed by maybe members of the law enforcement community, or those who are in the courtroom environment, so judges will be elected or put onto the bench. They might notice our behavior. That kind of stuff has an impact. So we have a professional code of conduct that we're expected to abide by. Take the highway road at all times, that kind of thing.
Whenever you're out in the public eye.
Yeah, and we've had some people in the past who've been drinking and driving, and so they get pulled over. Obviously, the representative of the district attorney's office is the highest law enforcement official agency within our boundaries or judicial district.
Okay.
So we basically have more police authority than the law enforcement agencies do. So when we get pulled over for things or commit crimes or things like, it's pretty.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could see where that would be, in some cases, cause for dismissal.
Right. It is. It always is. So that's why we have the code of conduct. So that's how my line of work would handle it. I don't know in the private sector, smaller companies, there's so many things out there. I don't know if people or different companies really enforce that.
I think
have a need to. I don't know.
It's probably a lot more lenient. It's going to be on the individual. Depends how long they've been there, how well they know them. Kind of like you get familiar with people and you start getting maybe a little looser.
Right.
In your in speaking and gestures, but that needs to be kind of watched. You gotta maybe bring people back a little bit, pull them back in when they get that way, because hey, wait, this is still a business, guys.
Right.
You can't just be going off the farm.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm sure it's different in in private than it is in your situation.
In public servant positions.
Yeah. Yeah, because everybody, that situation would make the news.
Right.
Not just something at some company, unless it was.
Yeah. It's an elected district attorney has a district, I don't know, a DUI or something. You know, that's making the news. It's going to be top news, and it causes political campaigning to go on. Who's going to be ousted or forced to resign?
Yeah. Now they're still human, but they just need to realize the situation and who they're representing, basically.
Right.
Yeah. You don't like who you're representing.
Exactly. So I think we've pretty much covered the rest of this discussion.
Yeah, I think.
Is there anything else you want to
add? No, but I appreciate your perspective from the situation you're in, your job and stuff. I really hadn't thought about it in a public sector like that, or a more high profile than private. So
right, it's challenging all the way across the board, but I think that this Simon character needs to be coached a little by Mary Griffin. Maybe she can approach him and talk to him about recognizing his behavior. Hopefully he will, but again, that's more his responsibility. He has to own his own behavior, whether he agrees with it or not.
Yeah, no, he definitely needs to, whatever her approach is, he needs to realize what everybody else sees. That maybe, maybe he sees it. In my opinion is he probably doesn't. That's just the way he is. That's the way he's wired.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, and someone just needs to either talk to him, or maybe, like I say, without him knowing it, record him and say, okay, now let's talk about this. And just, he needs as much help as maybe the others that are always complaining.
Yeah. He needs some coaching on emotional intelligence and keeping his anger in check.
Yeah. I mean, I know he's probably trying. He thinks, in his opinion, he's doing good, fulfilling his job and being the boss.
Right.
But a boss wears a lot of hats. So you need to think of the rest of your team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Well, thanks, Greg. I appreciate your time and for your input on the discussion.
Likewise.
Good luck with your cancer write-up. I hope we can both get it in deadline time.
I guess I'm going to, after this, start writing it.
I know.
So I appreciate that.
Will you go ahead and submit the discussion and the recording?
Yeah. And I'll send you the link.
I'll put you as discussion leader for this week, and I think I signed up for 3 or 4 weeks in.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I was going to try to do it next week, but no one else jumped up, and I didn't. I was waiting to see if anyone else would send emails to anybody, and I figured
nobody wanted to first.
I guess I got to do it, so that's fine.
Yeah. Well, you got it done. I'll just count you as done, and then if you submit it on behalf of the group, maybe everybody else will have to contribute. I think they have to do their own recordings if they didn't participate.
I think so. Just 5-10 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Minutes or something. Yeah, I think about.
So. All right. Well, thanks again.
Have a great evening, and
you too. Good luck the rest of the week.
We'll keep in touch. Send emails out with your number if you could, and I'm going to do the same.
All right.
Okay.
Take care. Thanks again.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Yep.